Today, I'll be building no-code AI agent that will act as a personal assistant. It will be able to connect to your Gmail, to your calendar, and even to your to-do list. I'll be able to chat with this agent, which means I'll be able to ask it for important emails. I can ask it about what meetings I've got today, or what are my tasks to do, and even what are the overdue tasks that I need to review. It will also be able to give me my daily report, as in able to pull all the key updates from my email, calendar, to do list into a single response, which will help me plan my day ahead. This will be all chat first, which means I'll just ask the question and get the things done. And if you have never built an AI agent and want to build one, this could be a good start because I'm going to explain the basic building blocks of AI agent and step by step how do you actually implement it using no code solution. So if that sounds interesting, let's get started. Okay, so before we actually dive into the details, I would like to quickly brush up on what is an AI agent. So let's do a quick Google search. What is an AI agent? And you'll see that it says the AI agent is a software program that uses AI to perform tasks, make decision, interact with its environment with minimal human oversight. But what it is actually, so let's see. This might give some more clarity. So AI agent is not very deterministic, which means it will not follow the set of rules saying that if this is an input, this has to be output. It will take instructions. It will try to interact with multiple tools. It will look at its memory, try to make some decisions, and come up with the response. Now that response can change every time. That's how the LLM works. So it's not very deterministic. But then, what are the important components of any AI agent? So let me quickly draw this. So this is, let's say, this is an AI agent. It will have a couple of important blocks. Number one is your inputs, right? So inputs. So inputs is what you'll be giving it to AI agent, which is your trigger or your request, based on which it will interact with multiple tools, right? And get the data. So if you're asking for weather, it will interact with any of the weather tools you have configured. So whether it can interact with your emails, it can interact with your calendar. For this is what we are going to do today, but it can also do quite a few things. Like it can interact with CRM, it can interact with let's say your databases somewhere. Okay, let's keep the database different, but CRM, and it can do many other. It can go on your it can search web, it can scrape website. There are a good number of tasks it can perform. Next, the important is memory, right? So it doesn't have memory of its own, so it won't remember anything until you have a memory where you can store the information so that it has some context to it. Again, there is a crucial part which is what we call as a RAG or vector database. Let me just quickly create. Yeah, so it's a RAG, uh, but we are not going to use it today. It's more of a database where you can go and search for all the data that you might need. But in today's case, we are just going to interact with the tool and keep it simple, so we are not going to need it. The most important thing is or is LLM, right? So we need that brain that can decide which tools to call, when to call, and all of that based on the prompt that we will be giving to AI agent. So these are the important tools, or important blocks rather, for any AI agent. So these are the, I would call, building blocks of an AI agent. So let's jump into building the actual one. Okay, so I'm going to start an N workflow. Okay, so I'm starting a new workflow. So like I said, the very first step would be the trigger, which is input, what we would want to add. Now input could be either coming from a different tool or different system altogether, but in our case we want it to be a chat where a user can search for email or ask for a daily report or check for calendar, whatever it could be. So we can search for chat trigger. Okay, so once you have added a chat, you can say hi, but it won't do anything because there is no AI agent or even any LLM to interact with. So let's add an AI agent, and I'll just say add, yeah. Now again, let's give it a try. Let's say hi. Again, AI agent doesn't have any LLM associated with it because within AI agent, this is just an orchestration layer. So what you might want to do is come here, and so let me take this in center and add OpenAI. I'll be using OpenAI, but you feel free to use any other LLM models. Yeah. I usually tend to use ChatGPT 4o Mini. Sorry, GPT-4o Mini, just so that it's quite cheaper to use. You can go about using 4.1 or latest 5 version as well. But I keep it simple, use it for O, and it has worked well for me so far. So what I'm going to do next is, let's say now I can say, hi. So as you see, the AI agent is actually interacting with the LLM and actually getting the details. I let's say I'll say I am based in Aberdeen. What is the weather? So it doesn't have any information about the weather. Yeah. So let's get that added. So let's say I will add a tool which will say weather, open weather tool. Now I've already created the account on OpenWeather and associated the APIs. That can be a different video in itself on how to link the account, but I'm sure you'll find loads of videos how to connect OpenWeather map or even any sort of accounts, even the OpenAI that we just did. So I'll just do that, and I'll say Aberdeen, and I'll say execute this step. So it's going to get the current weather, right? So I'll just ask now, I am based in Aberdeen. What is the weather? Yeah, so it is able to pull that information. So now let's understand, why do we need memory? Let's say I say, I live in Aberdeen. Yeah. Where, and now if I ask it, where do I live? So even though I just mentioned, it can't find that information because there is no memory associated with it. So if we want to build some kind of a context about the emails, about the calendar, about the weather, I need to make sure that I add this memory, which is I click the memory and I will select the simple N10 memory, and context window length is 5, which is it will remember up to 5 interaction. So which is fine for me, or let's make it 10 just for on safer side. It's not a big deal. Yeah. So that's it will now be able to remember where all the context. So let's say I live in Aberdeen. Can you tell me where am I based? Yeah. So it's able to get all the information that I just asked. So we have started to build. As you can see, I think we've got all the major blocks that we needed. One is chat inputs that we are giving. The AI agent, it's using LLM to decide which tools to invoke. There is a simple memory just to build some context, and we have just added one tool right now, which is weather app. Now let's get onto building some more tool. Let me just show you one more thing. Here I have a hard coded Aberdeen, but what I can say is, because through chat I might be asking, or the user might be asking about London, or say Mumbai, or any other place like that. Yeah. So what we want to do is let the model define this parameter. So we'll click this, and we'll just keep it now here. And now I'll say, hi, what's the weather in London? Yeah, so you see that it's now able to get me weather for London, and I can also click this tool, and I can see the input it actually managed to get. I did not hard code it. I had said let the model define the input, so it is able to define the input, and based on that, it's able to generate the output. The AI agent using LLM is able to interpret the output and send it back to chat. You can also see this into the log. So the chat message was received was what's the weather in London. It used simple memory, then it went on to the LLM to decide which tool to invoke. Then it invoked this tool using input as this. Once it received the output, it actually looked at and built this output, which is current weather in London is this, and it returned this, updated the simple memory, and then sent it back to us, right? So let's go on to building some more tools quickly now. So the next one I would do is building adding an email, right? So let me use Gmail, and I will say get many, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to only look at all the emails received from my personal email, which is abhilash.shah at, right. So I'll be using this where I will only look at these emails. I don't want to get all other emails from my inbox, so I'll filter all the emails only from this email address. Yeah, let's keep the limit to 50, and yeah, these are the sample emails that I've sent to myself from that personal email. So ideally now the AI agent is only going to look at these emails and help me understand which are the important ones and all of that. Yeah, so let's say I say this, I okay, I'll save this. So far I'll say what, uh, send me the list of recent emails. So it's actually invoking this tool and getting it. Okay. Now, mind you, we haven't added any prompt to the AI agent, which means it's still just getting all the details by itself, managing to look into and decide for itself what it wants to get. Yeah. So this is nice little list of all the emails that I've got, and because it's only filtering from my personal email address, as you can see, it's only getting those emails, right? Now let's move on to adding another tool, which is calendar. Okay, so now this again, the calendar account is already connected. You can look at other tutorials how to do that. What I'm going to do is again get many, which will mean that it will look at all my calendar events and try to get all the meetings. I'm going to say get it from my current calendar, and the way I would configure after and before is rather than saying now, after now, I want to look at all the meetings from last week until next week. So I want after last week and before next week, which is I will say +1, right? So it's going to take current date time and -1 week, and get set that as a after and before date. With that, now let's move on to actually trying it out and see if it's going to work. Yeah. Okay, there's one more thing we'll need to do actually before we invoke this tool is sometimes the AI agent can get the date completely wrong. So what we want to do is let's add a system message and say your helpful assistant, your job is to look into my look into my emails, calendar, and to do, and help the user with the every request. And let's mention that it's today's date, because that's where it goes usually wrong. So today's date time is, let's go into expression and let's type Yeah. So based on this, if you see, it's going to then say today's date time is this, right? So we need that so that it is able to get the meetings or the emails based on the date we might ask. So let's keep this now simple, and let's try and execute. We will also need to, let's see if it's able to still get the prompt user message. Okay. Hi. What is today's date? Yeah, perfectly. Well, works fine. What meetings do, oops, what meetings do I have today? All right. Okay. Oh, it got deactivated because I think I did press some uh, short keys. So let me just activate this. Yeah. So let's say, what meetings do I have today? So it will look for only meetings that are scheduled for today, and it will get the list out. Yeah. So it has looked in my calendar. I had the time scheduled for gym today, so it just got that. Then it went on to saying I've got a client demo about voice AI at 2. Then I've got a meeting with Alex at 3. Perfect. So that's done. We've got email, we've got calendar. Now, lastly, we'll just only integrate the to-do list, which is I tend to use Trello. So let me show you the Trello that I've configured. So I have Trello something like this. There are tasks which are due soon. There are tasks which are already overdue. There are tasks under today and inside this week. So this is how I usually put things or manage tasks inside Trello. So now next I'm going to Trello. I'll just select the first account and I'll say list, and I'll just say get cards. And I know the list ID is this. Just say, let's see. Yeah, so that's those are the cards from today. Yeah, so I am going to use this now. I'll just format this to so that it shows up little organized, and then I'm going to look at Trello again, and this time I'm going to again go back to Trello first account. I'm going to look at the list. I'm going to get all the cards, but not just for today, but this time I'm going to get it for the full week. And I know that this is the ID, and I'll just say get cards and execute the step. So now it is able to pull all the responses, as in all the cards for this week, right? So now I'll say get my to dos for today. As you can see, it's going through all the tools. Yeah, it did manage to get the today's. Uh, get me task for this week. All right. So now, as you can see, it's okay because we did not name it properly. So what we are going to have to say is, so we'll need to rename it to get all tasks for this week. Yeah. So let's try now. Get all the tasks for this week. Yeah. So it managed to execute the right one and able to now actually get all the tasks for this week. So it's very important that you rename the tool in a right way. Yeah. So that's I think we've done most of the thing. Now, if I say get me daily uh, report, it wouldn't know anything, right? It did manage to go into some of these tools still, but I don't know. There is no structure to it that we have defined, which is fairly well. It has done quite well, but then what I needed is a little more structure to it, more things like weather report and everything. So what I'm going to do is paste this prompt that I've created, right? So I've given this full prompt, what are its responsibilities, which tools it will have access to, right? And I'll say when someone asks for today's report or summary of the day, you are going to create one liner summary, whether meetings, tasks, important emails, and you're also going to give me maximum productivity tip, which means how do I make most of this day considering the meeting, important emails that I've got. It will look at, there are some rules that I've defined. How do you decide which are the important emails? So do not look at any newsletter or that sort of emails. Instead, look at all the emails which sounds important. Which are the important emails? Which are the ones where you have direct requests, deadlines, meeting info, client updates, or urgent matters? I've given some examples, and then you have what are the sort of queries that you can handle, and your behavior as a AI agent, right, as a personal assistant. So I'm going to copy that now, and we go into this, and we are now going to change this to have this as our prompt. So as you can see, this is all I'm going to share all these resources, so you'll find the details in the description of the video, but let's give it a try now. Hi, give me the daily report. Right. So it's now looking into all of this and able to. All right. I think we've missed one part because it did not look into weather for some reason. Okay, let me then clear the memory. So let's start it. Give me the daily report. Yeah, this time I think there was some issue with the memory, so it did manage to get in there, and it's now pulling the report. It should be able to now give me one liner summary and including weather report. So yeah, one liner summaries focus day is this. Your weather looks like it's nice and sunny outside. It's there are 3 meetings scheduled. There it did not manage to show all the 3 meetings. Like again, I said it's a AI agent which is non-deterministic, so it might give sometimes incorrect input, sorry, incorrect output, and that's all based on your prompt. So you can go and tweak that prompt further, refine it further, give it very clear instructions saying if there are 3 meetings, make sure you list the 3 meetings. Always try to add an example, which I haven't done in case, so you can refine this further. Task due today, 3 tasks, it has gone out, displayed it. I can click them and open it in the new window. I've got weekly tasks as well, how many tasks are remaining this week, and some of the important emails, as you can see. Right, so it has gotten and displayed. It has gone ahead and mentioned maximum productivity tip. How do I make most of this day? Which is by focusing on your upcoming client demo and prepare responses for email you haven't replied to maximize your impact today. So yeah, that's pretty much all in terms of how do you build an AI agent, which is your personal assistant. One thing that I really love with N8N is I'll show. Now, first, let me rename this. So, personal assistant demo. So what I'll do now is I'll go into this chat and I'll make this public, and I'll say, hi there, I am your personal assistant. You may ask me about your email, calendar, or to do. I can also help with weather. Okay, just chat. And now let's test this. So I'll copy this, I'll save this, and I will open this in a new tab. uh, let's run this first. So we haven't made it active, so we'll need to make this active. And let's try this now. Super. As you can see, it's asking me all the details. I'm your personal assistant. Okay. What important emails do I have in my inbox which I haven't replied? So it's actually going now and getting all the details through this AI agent, going through these tools and trying to come up with a list. Yeah. So it has nicely come up with the list and status has not replied. All right. What task do I have for today? Okay, cool. What meetings do I have? So now everything is in one place. You don't need to uh, juggle between multiple tools and try to understand or get your day. Give me a daily report. And the best part is now you can extend this. You can extend this to reply to that email. You can say, can you reply to this email saying that I'm not available? Or you can say, can you book a meeting for me for tomorrow with someone in my contact list? And it will be able to pull the email ID and just book a meeting. Right? You can do variety of things now with that. You can see the daily report out here. So you just ask a daily report. You don't have to go into each of these. You just start your day looking at the daily report and nice productivity tip. But yeah, that's pretty much all. How you build the AI agent. If you are keen to or wanting to build one for your business, get in touch with me on scalecraft.ai. Visit my website and schedule meeting with me, or find the link in this description as well. But thank you so much for your time, and hope you liked it. If you've got any suggestion on what you would like to see in my next video, just let me know. Thank you.